Thank you so much. Good morning. I'm very pleased to be a part of this very eminent speakers and audience to give my contribution, my modest contribution on this topic of higher education within the pandemic, within this crisis, international crisis caused by the COVID-19. My talk will be more about giving some key strategies to on how to achieve SDGs, especially when we are speaking of education, higher education. And for sure, so my outline, okay. I will give you just small things about education, where we are engaged, science, technology, higher education, quality assurance in MENA region, some key strategies to achieve SDGs for our community, and how to measure quality, responsibility, and performance, and at the last, some recommendations. As you know, all of you, that SDGs without education and higher education, science, innovation, technology, we cannot achieve any of these 17 goals, because education and higher education are linked to all of these 17 SDGs. About the education in MENA region, or more or less in developing countries, we know that education and training play an important role in the development of any country. And the education sector has to prepare the relevant workforce, contributing to the development of the nations. But at the same time, different challenges of establishing scientific and progressive society that is based on innovation and the consumer of technology, but also the contributing to the product to produce technological outputs and to contribute in technological civilization for the future. Therefore, there is a need of proper planning and implementation of education training at all levels, especially when MENA region aspire to become developed countries based on knowledge-based economy and knowledge-based society. Okay, that's that. In MENA educational system, which is based on development of individual into a sound and effective citizen, and we are more targeted on full integration of the individual into its community. When we speak about I know I start, and higher education means the postgraduate and others sector. There are a big versatility in theory and lack in practical orientation when we are speaking about higher education. There are in our region lack of innovation and motivation, lack of entrepreneurial skills. Graduated are produced in older discipline at the expense of emerging discipline. And as you know, with this COVID-19, we all learn that digital technology is a key issue that we have to apply in different level, especially when we are speaking of higher education and knowledge transfer to the consumers and users. And we have to engage to address this issue. We have to put in place the strengthening between university industry interaction program, the establishment of student industrial work experience, and to participate in industrial training. And for the policy on science and technology and higher education sector, to have and to update our agenda in MENA region, we have to make the impact of science and technology education to meet growing needs of the economy and to consolidate development of nations' system of higher education in response to economic manpower needs. This is in general, not only on this pandemic situation, but it's in general. Going to this different strategic waves of the higher education, I can just give some of them. Nine aspects, mainly on widening access and enhancing equity, improving the quality of teaching and learning by using the new technologies, digital technology and e-learning, especially when we are speaking about this pandemic. But not only higher education, we have also to enhance research and innovation, strengthening institutions of higher education by using even this virtual reality and these different tools, give this knowledge and to the high quality of learning and using this new technology and producing also the new technology, to intensify the internationalization, to have big cooperation even within MENA region countries, but also outside, south, north-south cooperation and so on. And enculturation of lifelong learning is also very important to try to enhance the quality and the knowledge for a different age, a different target stakeholders, and to reinforce the higher education delivery system at national level and with the decision-making and policymakers to reinforce the system and to update their strategies and the policies. For the equity, it's very important to increase the percentage in higher education, to enhance the percentage of the workforce with higher education, human capital development fund for higher education. We have to develop this capital development fund and to have the scholarship and special scholarship for eminent and for the elite of the student and the researcher. The quality of teaching and learning, how to measure the quality. The quality of learning and teaching has to be reviewed in our region, because the quality of how to deliver is really very important because of the different digital divide and with other regions. So the national policy on student training and staff attachment with the industry is one of the more important point that we have to develop. The periodical curriculum review, we have to review and to inject some new tools in our curricula with interactive teaching and using of English language, because English language even is the language of the science, and not only English now, there are other like Chinese and other aspect and other target language to what I can say, to bring this technology in our region. The employability of the graduate student also, it's one of the important point, and we try to increase the number of PhD or equivalent of this title for our student and our knowledge community. The research and innovation, we have to enhance the research and innovation by increasing the number of research universities, the number of internationally recognized centers of excellence, innovation culture among students, enhance the percentage of commercialization of our research products, to make the mapping of the views and to mapping of the needs of the country in industry or and consumers, and to translate this as a project in the university's research project that could be taken by our students and our universities and faculty. The strengthening our institution of higher education, it's very important to increase the number of public university and at the same time private university even, to have the autonomy according to the key performance indicators, to increase the number of lecturers with PhD, and to take in consideration the university rating according to KPIs. To intensify the internationalization of our university in MENA region, it's very important to strengthen the networking with international universities. This is a cooperation between within and between and outside MENA. Average of international student enrollment in competitive programs, the average of international faculty members in research university, and student mobility is also one of the key successful tools to enhance our capability in higher education. Lifelong learning, as I said previously, is to recognize the lifelong learning is one of policy makers has to take this as a key area to develop more, to recognize the past learning and experience of the people, how to use this in vocational training, or to give them some, to give them more contribution in, and to also to reduce the problem of the employability of this kind of target group, it increase in adult matured students, and to have the alternative paths of education program mobility. The last point is you're forcing the higher education ministry's delivery system. This is at the policy at the top level, to take the ministries as facilitators, the effective implementation and monitoring performance based on KPI, prudent spending, and selection of public top management based on merit. If we want to have this quality measure, responsibility, and performance, we have what we are injecting as input. This is the three pillars: the input, the process, and the output. The output, which is really our, what I can say, our objectives, is to have more employability, to reduce the problem of people who are that they cannot find the job. This is very important. To have the graduate satisfaction and employee satisfaction with our teachers and others, is to design, to review, to update our curricula, our pedagogy and delivery by injecting putting what I can say, the different technologies, especially emerging technology. And in our case, this emerging technology, which is digital technology, to use in higher education and even in education with this digital and this virtual technology applied to education, higher education. The monitoring and is also one of the process to take in consideration. And at the beginning, the input is we have to be ensuring the talent, the faculty, student resources, physical, non-physical, and financial, which is also one of our challenge, the financing problem, and the governance also. This is the same, the marketability, student satisfaction, and employee satisfaction. These three outputs that could be achieved if we are designing a very, what I guess, targeted tools. My recommendations, not only for this pandemic crisis, but in general, And then we can see what we can do to debate this during with this conference. First, we have to establish, and we already have the establishment of Technology Innovation Fund, but we have to enhance this fund by establishing this technology innovation in our higher education and universities and faculties. To establish also the intellectual property offices in university, to have the committee at university on commercialization of research results in higher institutions, establishment of also the incubation center of centers in university, science parks, to even to change, even to reverse and to put this university as not only for knowledge, but also to have some products from our scientific community, and which is student and their academia, and to consolidate the development of nation's system of higher education in response to economic manpower needs. So this is what I can give as some ideas to be discussed deeply. But the conference is more to review our policy, our manners, how to face this pandemic. The pandemic is for sure to apply the virtual universities, the different tools that are developed by digital technology in the sector of education and higher education. Thank you for your attention.
So please remember, if we all help and do a little bit, it will make a big difference.